U.S. officials tell NBC News tonight that Israeli troops appear to have crossed the border into Lebanon to attack Hezbollah. Israeli officials say the goal is to deliver a knockout blow to what has long been considered the most fearsome, best-armed militia in the Middle East. Asked if he was aware.
I'm more aware than you might know, and I'm comfortable with them stopping. We should have a ceasefire now.
A U.S. official tells NBC News Israel informed the United States ahead of time, describing the operations as brief, days, not weeks, with a limited geographic reach. The official said Israel had planned a broader campaign, but the U.S. pushed to scale it back. Tonight, American officials worry that over time, the mission could expand. Hezbollah claims to have 100,000 fighters. Independent analysts, however, estimate the real number is about half of that. Still, a sizable, dedicated force fighting on its home turf.
This is the dead center of Beirut. It's called Martyr Square, and it is filling up with internally displaced people. People here have come from southern Beirut. They've come from southern Lebanon, areas that are under attack by Israel. And they are sleeping outside because they don't know what's coming. They don't know if there's going to be an Israeli invasion of Lebanon, perhaps tonight, imminently, or even in the next several hours.
Israel says the mission is to push Hezbollah north of the Litani River, creating a buffer zone along the Israeli border. Hezbollah says it's ready for a long guerrilla war.
And Richard, this is not the first time Israel has tried to create a buffer zone with Lebanon.
No, it is not. Israel invaded Lebanon to create a buffer zone back in 1982. And I was here when Israeli troops finally pulled out nearly 20 years later, proving the old adage that it is much easier to start a war than finish one.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.